This is the Riverhawk SportsNest podcast, talking all things NSU athletics. I'm Sean Solo.
And I'm Captain Morgan.
Brought to you by
NSU Athletics, Precision Consulting Group,
and DJ Sean Solo Entertainment. The Riverhawk SportsNest is a Rogue Radio Network production.
You can like, follow, share, and enjoy the show. You can listen to Riverhawk SportsNest on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music.
Are you hungry or want to hang out for a cold brew with your friends? Emery's Grill has a wide selection of amazing food and drinks for everyone.
Emery's Grill, the captain's favorite, is a proud sponsor of the Riverhawk SportsNest and a supporter of NSU Athletics. So make your way downtown to Emery's Grill, located on 407 North Muskogee Avenue.
Go Riverhawks! Red light on the board, red light on camera. Everybody good? Let's do this.
Let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 511. This is the Riverhawk SportsNest. I am Sean Solo.
And I am Captain Morgan.
Oh, see, we've got a couple fans here, yes.
Yes. Woohoo!
Well, of course, we are recording live at Emery's Grill in downtown Tahlequah. We want to thank Emery's for hosting us each week. But tonight, we have a very special episode this Wednesday evening we'll get to the formalities here in a minute. But, of course, as always, we like to encourage everyone to hang out and watch the show in person. You can always catch the latest episodes on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon, or watch the episodes on the Rogue Radio Network YouTube channel. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at rh.sportsnest. Helps us reach out to the Riverhawk Nation.
And the purpose of our show is to highlight NSU athletes, and connect the program, the coaches, and the athletes to alumni, the community, and their fans. So with our upcoming SportsNet schedule, we have in 2 Mondays from now, I just lost my notes here. Oh, here we go. October 27th, baseball coach Kyle Williams. Oh, yeah. He's going to be here with Isaac Sizemore, Cleet Finley, and Jackson Gregory. So excited about that. The second season of the Coach Darren Cheverini show is recorded live at Emery's Grill on Wednesdays at noon during the Quarterback Club, recorded with Orry the Voice Phillips, Captain Morgan, and DJ Sean Solo. You can listen to the show Fridays on Lakes Country 102.1 prior to Keys football, or you can watch the full episode on the Rogue Radio Network channel on YouTube. And we're going to talk about our guests here tonight. We have the esteemed, well, we've got a special lineup tonight at the Nest. All right. Two of the biggest leaders behind the vision and heartbeat of Northeastern State University. First up, the man steering the ship for the entire university, President Dr. Rodeny Hanley.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Whose leadership has already made waves across the campus, especially this week as we celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day in a way that truly reflected NSU's spirit and roots. And joining him, the man at the helm of Riverhawks Athletics, Director John Sisemore.
Here, 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 here.
Since taking over the program, he's been building a culture of success, accountability, and pride across every sport. Gentlemen, welcome to the Sportscast. It's an honor to have both of you here again tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yep.
Well, I'd like to try to get right into it. We've got so much to cover, may not get through it all, but we'll kick off something I've already mentioned here this week at the Indigenous Peoples Day. President Hanley, you were quoted in the announcement of saying, at Northeastern State University, we are committed to celebrating and supporting Indigenous voices. This event reflects our long-standing connection with Native communities and our dedication to fostering understanding, respect, and cultural pride on our campus and beyond. So moving beyond symbolic recognition, NSU has made concrete steps to take academic, cultural, and financial support to Indigenous students, faculty, and the community. Will you share with us some of those athletically and academically that you've initiated so far, or seen?
Well, thanks a lot for that question. I really appreciate being here. It's always fun to come talk to you guys and,
Heck yeah.
and all of our podcast listeners out there. It really is an honor. Listen, about 35% of our student body are Native American, and that's one of the highest percentages of any university in the United States for Native Americans. So we're a leader. We're not a follower in terms of how we reach in our outreach to our Native American communities. We are a national leader. And in fact, there was a magazine that called Winds of Change that is targeted towards the Native American community that ranked Northeastern State University the #1 university in the United States for Native American students. And we're really proud of that.
That's impressive.
It is, and these are tough times right now. Let me tell you, with all the changes that are occurring with the federal government, the cuts in funding, it's hitting what we can do with our Native American students. And so one of the things that we had a series of grants get cut, about $5 million in total, that would help us with our outreach to our at-risk students and so on. And so we're looking to try to continue as many of these services as we can to make sure that the students that come from the Native community and also our students that from a financially disadvantaged background, that they can come to Northeastern State University and be successful. The other thing I'll tell you, and since I mentioned rankings, there's another periodical called Washington Monthly. And what they do is they rank universities on a number of different ways. And they like to focus on something that we refer to in the business as social mobility, right? It's the idea that a kid from a maybe a hardscrabble background or a kid from a financially disadvantaged background can come to a university, get a high quality education, and then go off to a whole new career that they never could have dreamed of otherwise. We rank among the top universities in the United States for social mobility. So we're really proud of that. It's built into the fabric of Northeastern State University. It's really important to me as a president personally. And we, the outreach that we have, whether it's with in the athletic community or the academic community, with our Native students, could not be undersold. And the other thing, and let me close my comment by saying that our one of our primary partners at Northeastern State University is the Cherokee Nation. And I'm oftentimes, I'm proud to say that there would be no Northeastern State University without the Cherokee Nation. We are two entities that are intertangled, and it cannot be disconnected. And I'm actually really proud of that. And so we've got a lot going on. The outreach that we have to the Native community is really important. We work almost daily with the Cherokee Nation on how to build our outreach to the members of the Cherokee Nation, and we're seeing those numbers of students that come to Northeastern State University go up, and we're really proud of that.
Yeah, that's good to see. I've seen some of the reports on the students, and I did see a report about NSU being #1 in the country. So the news is getting out there, and it's showing as well. All right, President, I want to ask you a question about the House Bill 701 that was passed. It gives the state regents the power to grant functional exceptions, so universities can deviate from their assigned missions. So how do you see NSU taking advantage of that flexibility in the near term? I know we've already initiated some things, but just expand on that if you can.
Yeah, so it's Oklahoma Senate Bill 701. And what it does a couple of things, actually. So there was a law passed in the late 1990s that prohibited any university from teaching first and second year courses in the Tulsa metro area. All right. Now, what's the functional result of that? Well, that means that Tulsa was the largest metropolitan area in the United States without a public four-year university. Right. So we have NSU has a rather substantial branch campus in Broken Arrow, which is obviously adjacent to Tulsa. And by law, we could only teach third and fourth year courses at that campus. And that had a result of kind of suppressing enrollment. And really what it did was, if there was a student in the Tulsa metro area or Broken Arrow that wanted to go to a public four-year university because maybe they wanted to live at home with mom, maybe they didn't have enough money to pay for a private university like University of Tulsa. Mm-hmm. They either had to go to a community college, and there's a good community college in Tulsa, or they had to leave. And once a student leaves an area, then the odds of them coming back upon graduation are quite low. And so that law had been in place for a number of decades. There have been numerous efforts to try to change that law. All had failed. And so when I got hired, one of the things that was given to me by the regional regents was, hey, we need you to make a big effort to try to get this law changed. And so that's what we did. We pushed really hard. We worked with elected officials in the Broken Arrow area. We did a lot of lobbying. We went to Oklahoma City to lobby elected officials and so on. And the dog caught the car. We were able to get that law changed. And the governor signed it. And so that was a big change for us. We're now able to teach first, second, third, and fourth year courses at our Broken Arrow campus. So that means that a kid that graduates from Broken Arrow High School, which is the largest high school in Oklahoma, they are able to stay in the area and get a high quality education. And what that means for us is that we think a lot of kids are going to start at our Broken Arrow campus. Maybe they major in business, maybe it's psychology, maybe it's whatever field that you can think of. And they're probably, because of the major, may have to make their way to Tahlequah to finish up their degree. So that's a big deal for us. We think that it's going to be a net positive for our Broken Arrow campus and a net positive for our Tahlequah campus. Now, you also mentioned functional changes. And so one of the things that's also in there is that that community colleges now have the ability to solicit the state regents of higher education for the ability to offer a bachelor's degree, so that will happen. None have been approved as of yet, but we expect that in the next year or so that there will be Tulsa Community College will be able to offer a bachelor's degree, and I believe they've already proposed one in the field of education. So that's where that's at. I don't think that means a whole lot for Northeastern State University in the sense that that functional exception, I think there's only one that's given out to these community colleges. So they're not all of a sudden going to proliferate in the number of bachelor's degrees. That's what I've been told. So I'm hoping that will stick. But I think on balance, the Senate Bill 701 is a net positive for NSU. It's a net positive for the citizens of Oklahoma, and especially the Tulsa metro area.
I think that obviously that helps enrollment, being able to get the first and second years in. So that's definitely what we're trying to get that enrollment up.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good way to stop for break number one. We'll have a word from our sponsors here on the Sports Nest, and then we're going to come back and talk about some sports. How about that? We'll be right back.
This is Captain Morgan from the Riverhawk Sports Nest. If you're launching a startup or need help dialing in your sales and marketing, you need Precision Consulting. We help businesses grow with real strategies that get results. No fluff, just precision. Reach out directly to Riverhawk Sports Nest on Facebook or Instagram for a free consultation. Ask for the captain.
All right, we are back here on the Riverhawk Sports Nest. We got our special episode here with the NSU president and our athletic director. So we had some good conversation to wrap up, some of the formal stuff with the state bill and some other things. So before we went to break, off break, you were saying something about enrollment. So talk about some of the changes with our enrollment and that kind of thing.
Well, thanks for asking. So we got our enrollment numbers back for the fall of 2025. And again, we for the fifth or sixth semester in a row, we have enrollment growth at Northeastern State University. We were up 1.5% over the same time last year. And so we're really proud of what we're doing. That enrollment, it's interesting when you think about the enrollment ecosystem, you have to kind of subdivide it, right? And so when you think about who are the people that make up your student body, well, we've got the big category, which is our 18 to 24-year-old demographic. That's mostly the kids that graduate high school and that go on to college. Those kids are really becoming less numerous, right? And so what we've done is we reach out to different kinds of demographic groups, and so we're seeing enrollment growth with our concurrent students, which are high school students that take college-level classes. We saw another jump with that. We're seeing our adult continuing ed learners. These are the folks that are in mid-career that, maybe they want to finish up a bachelor's degree that they started back in the day. That we've seen about 12% increase in those students. And our international graduate students are up. We're up about 12 or 13% our graduate students. And then our international students are up about 86% this year. And that follows a 164% increase in our international students last year. So NSU is doing very well on a global level, and we're really proud of them.
Well, one thing I want to add on to that, I'm going to go to John there with the improvements that the president just mentioned. We tie those into the NSU athletics improvements that we've made in the past year and a half or so. You had mentioned some of that. Why don't you share what's going on with all that?
Yeah, there's been so many exciting things that's happened at NSU, institutional-wise and athletic-wise, and combine the records that have been broken, the improvements that have been made, the strides that have been gone forward is in the last year and a half have been more probably in the last 10 years combined. And so we have some celebrities in the room that can testify to that. We have several of our coaches. We have John and Miss Williams back there, Kim Williams back there, celebrities. Softball player, famous softball player. But, our men's tennis coaches here and women's tennis coaches here. We brought back men's tennis this year, and they started off, I think, with the record 16-0. It's 26-0. Let me
Coach McLean.
So records are falling every day, and then you look at our women's basketball coach was the biggest turnaround in the history of NSU in a one-year time for a program ever for women's basketball. Our men's football coach, who I just left the softball game, who was attending the softball game, was there, and a phenomenal turnaround again, and record after record, not only for what we're doing in, you talk about, wins and losses, you talk about putting up all the numbers, but the highest GPA for athletics in 15 years.
Oh, wow.
The highest GPA. So all over in the last year and a half from the president's leadership, what's happening in NSU and what's happening athletic-wise combined, it's just been a great year and a half. So.
Oh, great things are happening with NSU, man.
I know. I tell people,
phenomenal.
you better get on board now. I don't want to see any, late bloomers. You get on board now because the things are happening. And now going back to, men's tennis, we talked about that earlier in the spring about, adding all these new sports, adding it to the whole mantra of NSU athletics. But the first one being men's tennis, coming back after 24 years. So obviously you just mentioned how well that Tim McLean has started off with his team. So talk about so far what do you think about his first season? Serving up the first season, I should say.
He had minimal recruiting time, but we've been discussing this, Tim, since I've been here for 2.5 years. And he's like, push the button, coach, I'm ready. Push the button, coach. So I said, all right, at the last wakening minute, I said, are you ready? He goes, you mean I've got like 2 months to recruit all these players? And I said, yep, and it better be good. And he performed. He performed very well. He's just done a phenomenal job. And, you can't say enough about our tennis program. Year in and year out, the women's program has been one of the best in the nation. And then to turn around and bring men's tennis back and to start off 26-0, come on now.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
That's insane.
Kudos.
Yeah, and they're good kids, so we've already had them on the podcast. They've been actually involved with the sporting community. The guys come out to the soccer matches.
It's insane.
Oh my! It is so much
gosh,
fun
insane.
because when we had the soccer guys on, was it last week? Mm-hmm. I said, okay, I'm coming on Wednesday night, and it was an absolute blast. The chance that they have for all the individual athletes and stuff, it is entertaining for sure. So now you said you just came from the softball games, and of course one of our most recent hires has been Cassidy Bowen. So tell us what you've seen from her and her staff so far this season. I know we're just doing exhibitions right now, but still, what have you seen?
Yeah, so
the product
I left the game a while ago, and we were run ruling the team, and we were playing 10 innings. I think we were in the 8th inning. I think the score was maybe 15-4 or something to that nature. But we were doing very well. Cassidy's a hard worker. She was an All-American player at TU. She played for a good friend of mine who's the Team USA coach, and so I knew her pretty well. And then she brought in a great staff. She brought in our very first assistant softball coach, which we added this year, who was a 3-time national champion at OU and a 1-time national champion at Tennessee. And so when you're bringing in coaches like that with those kind of accolades, people start paying attention. And so you're seeing a resurgence of the softball program, and we're excited about that. And then, top it off, we're looking to post the job openings as early as next week for men's and women's wrestling.
Okay.
And for also our women's volleyball program. So we'll be in the hiring phase for those two sports coming up in the next couple months. And we've gotten national attention for that. Statewide attention, of course, but national attention for the wrestling program and volleyball program. And People are coming out of the woodwork just excited about it. So
Yeah, I've actually had people asking me, who's the coach going to be? Who's the coach going to be? And I'm like, hang on.
I can tell you the committee that is being put together to hire those coaches are some of the biggest names in the country in those sports. So pretty exciting stuff.
So Dr. Hanley, so last episode we talked, of course, about your son Harry playing baseball statewide. And before we get to his agent, what has this season looked so far?
Well, he just had a baseball camp at Rose State College this past weekend. He did well. He's a left-handed pitcher and plays outfield, so he did pretty well. He had a pretty good. We had some coaches there from a couple of D1 schools, and they took note, So yeah, he's pretty good. He's growing like a weed, right? So, I mean, it just seems like every time I stand next to him, he seems a little bit taller than he did the time before, and he's got these long arms, long legs, and long levers, and he's got a high spin rate on his fastball and on his different pitches, and so they do a lot. There's a lot of movement in his pitches, and so. He loves baseball. He loves getting out there and competing, and so we're looking to get to some more camps. And he did a camp at NSU, and so we'll probably do another camp or two at NSU, and probably hit some other schools around the region. So
now let's get to the agent. So have we had any talks with schools yet, or let me some inside stuff, or what can you tell us here?
The word's out. I'm very well connected with the baseball community. So much so, let me just tell you this. So, a product of mine that I got to be associated with, two of them actually. Aaron Ashby, who just pitched for the Brewers 2 nights ago against the Dodgers. And then one of the best pitchers the entire year who just worked his way up is also with the Brewers, Mr. Mizorowski, who was an MLB All-Star this year, his very first year. They're all product. They're from us, me.
Wow.
Anyway, long story short, I know baseball and I know pitching. And Dr. Hanley's pretty humble about Harry. Harry's got a huge future ahead of him. We just got to see where that lands. I foresee him probably, if we can't steal him here at NSU, which we're going to work on that, night and day.
Right.
But I foresee him at some Ivy League school just putting up crazy numbers because he's crazy intelligent, but he has all kinds of athletic ability. And those two things combined in the pitching world, it's just phenomenal. And so he's got the gifts. And so it's going to be exciting to watch his progression and to figure out where he's going to end up and how much money his agent's going to make. So,
I'm going to tell him you said all that.
Well, President Hanley, I'm going to give you a moment here to go ahead and brag him a little bit. But you being as a president of NSU and a parent of a student athlete here in high school, so how do you balance that? And then I know we spoke about him last time in April when you were on. But how are you balancing that and now seeing how well he's doing? Because I've seen the videos of him at camp, and I mean it's impressive. So talk about as being a parent.
Yeah. Well, anytime you're a university president, the demands on your time and so on they're really just unbelievable, right? There's an event going on almost every day on campus. I'm asked to come to different events and speak and represent and so on. It's part of the job, right? And I love doing it, right? And anytime you have a job you absolutely love to do, it's just worth its weight in gold. And so that's what I have, and then also I've got 2 sons actually. I've got an athletic son, and then my younger son is into theater, right? He does a lot of theater stuff with the middle school and here in Tahlequah. And so my wife and I, we try to divide our time as best we can to make sure everything is accommodated, and we try to get to as many events as we can, and we, it's a balancing act, like anything. It's just, we're parents just like everybody else, and we just try to balance it all out to make sure that our kids are cared for and that they've got the supportive structure and so on, and then also make sure that the university is cared for too. So.
Well, let's get back to, you talked about the records and everything like that. So we are now halfway through, year 2 of the Coach Chev era. We're sitting at 500, 3-3 for the first time since 2011. What have you both experienced from an administration and fan point of view since the hire for last year?
Well, look, I got to tell you, I mean, the energy that Coach Chev brings is unbelievable. And I you know, you guys have been at the games, and and when something happens and he starts to pump the crowd up, right? I get pumped up. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go out on the field and like suit up, right? It's really exciting. His wife will, the coach's wife will oftentimes sit next to me up in the area where I sit at the football games, and I noticed an interesting trend is that she gets so into the game, my watch starts buzzing because it creates one of those loud environments, right? Where your Apple Watch starts to buzz, you know. And I kid her about that all the time, and I said, don't ever change, right? Don't ever change because we love it, right? But what the level of energy that Coach Chev has brought. And the other thing is, I got to tell you, there's a couple of plays that stick out in my mind at games this season. And I think we were playing Florida?
West Florida.
West Florida. And our tight end caught a couple of balls and completely outran their entire secondary.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Right? And like those little fast DBs could not catch our tight end.
Yeah, Cam was.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Cam Woods.
Loved
88.
it. Loved it.
We've talked about him. Was one of my sleeper picks for last year. Just a good kid, good young man. It's like kid, but he's one of those.
Guy.
He's one of those hybrid athletes that he's built like a tight end, but he runs like a receiver.
So much so that New Orleans Saints were here last Friday to
talk to
done some numbers on him. So, and that's the fifth NFL team that's been on campus. It's never happened before in NSU history. So
that's impressive as well.
Right. So we had the Saints, and I think we had Green Bay. The Giants last year or in the spring, and the Giants. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the kind of stuff that Coach Chev brings, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He brings a pro mentality to the college game, and he presents himself to the players. I've seen it, right? And they buy into it. They love him.
Well, he's got the skins on the wall to show it. I mean, he's done his time, and he's proven winner and motivator. I mean, I'm the same way. When I'm out there at practice and I watch him, and I get motivated as well. And I don't know if y'all saw this on that West Florida game. It was one of the calls on the sideline that they were going to say it was incomplete over to Deuce, and then Coach Chev threw that challenge flag.
Oh yeah. It went into the stands.
It went into the stands. It was like that was the throw of the season.
I was standing 2 feet from that play, and I was like, "You better throw that flag."
Well, Orry and I are in the booth, and we see the flag just go about eye level, and drops down.
I think we should do one of our segments.
Well, I wanted to ask one more thing about keeping with the football aspect, and people have been asking me about, okay, yes, we're playing this independent schedule, we're having success with it, we're just continually, we're seeing the development of our team and the kind of talent, the competition that we're playing against. How are we looking, going forward for next year? I know we've got some big teams on the schedule. We're playing some more D1 schools. How is that looking for us in the future of the football program, either getting back to MIAA or how is that looking?
We made an agreement when we had the opportunity to leave the MIAA in football only to come out for a couple of years and reevaluate, to come back in 27. And so we're in that reevaluation process as we speak. And, we'll have to visit with the CEO Council of the MIAA, the presidents, and some other folks to make that determination. But, with our scheduling, we're the 34th toughest schedule this year in all of the NCAA Division II football. And so we're playing the top 40 schedule in the entire country with our opponents. And so we want to continue that. We want to play great teams, and we want to have the opportunity. It's really tough because many conferences, even close to us in Arkansas and Oklahoma, they're closed conferences. And so you can't find close opponents with closed conferences. They're just not allowed to play anybody outside their league. And so it's tough, but we found a way to find some significant opponents and still throw in some opponents that are kind of on the level that we are in rebuilding type programs. And so it's been really tough. Today I was on the phone for probably 4 or 5 hours with some scheduling for the future. And so it's just tough, but we're going to continue doing what we're doing until we make that final decision and see what happens in the future. But right now, 26, we're at an independent schedule. It looks like we're going to solidify at least 2 Division I teams and maybe 3.
Wow.
They'll all be on ESPN. And so, when you have that opportunity to have 3 games on ESPN,
I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
By the way, we need to talk to you about this.
John, push yourself in for a pay raise, dude.
So we're excited about our scheduling. It's a tough schedule, but our coach doesn't shy away from the best teams, and we want to recognize NSU and have as much publicity as we can. We want to showcase what we have to offer. So,
Yep. Well.
Yeah, let's roll into one of our. Let's do walk the plank. The new walk the plank segment.
Okay. Let's do it.
We're gonna bring Orry on here in a little bit, just for maybe just a moment here. Got to get his take on something, a few things here. But I know that this is the new segment that we're doing. I see an updated here. It's walk the plank with Captain Morgan. All right, ye scallywags, welcome aboard the USS Riverhawk SportsNest, where the seas be rough and the questions be tougher. This here's the part of the show we call Walk the Plank. Shipmates, here's how it works. I'll be asking you a question to test your knowledge. If you get it right, you stay aboard with the crew and you earn a shot as the honorary first mate, even though you're the president. But if you get it wrong,
The commandant. He'll be the commandant.
but if you get it wrong, oh no, matey. Over the side you go. That means you'll be taking a dip in the deep blue and facing a sink or swim question to see if you can claw your way back aboard this fine ship. So steady yourself. Are you ready to walk the plank?
That is a heck of an intro.
Yeah, I'll say it every week. He has stepped up his game. So,
Man, that was great.
the president called me peg leg for some of my walking motions at one time, and I feel like I need to put a patch on my eye too.
Look, John, I said it with love in my heart.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to go first with a multiple choice question. So the expression loose cannon originally referred to what? A misfiring pirate weapon? A sailor who told tall tales? Could have been me. A heavy cannon rolling dangerously on deck? Or a captain who disobeyed orders? The expression loose cannon originally referred to what? A sailor who told tall tales? A heavy cannon rolling dangerously on deck? Or a captain who disobeyed orders? Or a misfiring pirate weapon? What do you got?
Oh, you left out one about the cannon. Oh, the cannon rolling on deck is B.
That one's actually C, yes.
Yeah,
Going
so
with that one?
Yeah, you missed one. Yeah.
So it's very good.
Yeah.
It is a cannon rolling on deck.
It is.
Is the expression loose cannon. That's
Yeah.
what it's referred to. So, all right, shipmates, we both went on that one. You have now proven your knowledge. You can stay aboard the USS Riverhawks. Now, let's see if you can answer another question to become first mates of the ship. This one is a true or false question. The term 3 sheets to the wind means the sails are perfectly tight. True or false? The term 3 sheets to the wind.
All right, I'll say that's a true statement.
The term 3 sheets to the wind means the sails are perfectly tight. True or false?
He says false.
Who
I say
said false?
true.
We got a true here?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, he said true.
Okay.
Perfectly tight, 3 sheets to the wind.
The term 3 sheets to the wind
I'll give you a hint.
means the sails
does
are
not mean
perfectly
it's-
tight.
It does not mean Captain Morgan on Thursday nights at Kroner.
I'm going to say true as well.
No, it actually does mean the sails are loose and the ship's staggering like a drunk sailor.
Well, we can't get thrown off. We're both
No,
wrong.
you're out.
No, you're swabbing the deck.
You're swabbing the deck, swabbies. Swabby on the deck, swabby on the deck. All right, that was very good. So, all right, on that next one, well, shipmates, welcome aboard. Sorry you're not first shipmates, but you may, run the place. But that
There might be a mutiny on the...
And that, me shipmates, concludes our Walk the Plank challenge. Stay tuned because the adventure ain't over yet. We got plenty more tales, trivia, and treasures to uncover right here on the Riverhawk Sports Nest.
Well, let's just go right into mine. It's called the Smuggler's Run. You get 3 questions. We get to know you a little bit better. Question 1. No, that's the wrong one. Lightsaber or blaster? The lightsaber, the weapon of a Jedi Knight. Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. An elegant weapon for a more civilized time. Which do you choose?
It's a lightsaber all the way, buddy.
Okay.
Same.
Same?
Yep.
All right. Follow-up question. What color would your lightsaber be?
Oh, that's a good question. I've always been drawn to the red beam.
Oh, so a Sith Lord.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
A little menacing
Yes, a
quality.
little menacing. I got it.
Mine's pretty easy. It's NSU green.
Very nice. A Jedi Master at that. So there you go. All right.
Well played.
Now, question 2. Hidden smuggler skills. What's one skill or talent you have that people won't or wouldn't expect from a university president or an athletic director?
Oh, that's a good question. What skill or talent? Man, I like to think I'm strategic. I always think about strategy and how to advance the thing forward. Whether I'm playing fantasy football with my son,
Yeah.
right, and he's beaten me in this season. Yeah, he's pretty good. Or the university, right? What can we do to advance the ball down the field and have it matter in in the moment, but also have it matter in 5 years or 10 years or whatever. So.
Very presidential answer.
But like I said, the fantasy football, I may have to ask you next year to join our league.
Yeah.
I do a lot.
It's strictly.
No, I don't know if you want to get into that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, John?
What skill that nobody would think I would have?
Yeah.
I can play 8 musical instruments.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard him. He played the harmonica on a jet airplane to China. Oh yeah.
But he was fun to travel with, wasn't he?
Oh, he was.
So the harmonica, one of your 8.
Yeah, one of my 8.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
I saw him play the piano too. Oh yeah.
I knew he can play the piano because I heard him do that before. So yeah.
He claims he can play the banjo.
A little. Yeah, a little. Yeah.
He's a man of many talents. All right. And the final question. Hyperspace. You were blasting your way across the galaxy to Tatooine with Chewie and me and the Falcon. What playlist are we cruising to?
I'm going to go ahead and say that I on such a run, I'm going to pull out my classic country playlist with old Hank Williams,
Okay.
some Johnny Cash.
I got to listen to some of that in China.
I bet you did.
It's really good. So, yeah.
right.
It's on my playlist too.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But I'm going to go with our local heroes here, the Turnpike Troubadour.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it'll be a country journey to the outer rim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Smuggler's Run. Thank you, boys. Let's take another quick break here, and we'll come back for some final thoughts on here in the Riverhawk SportsNest podcast. Hey, this is Sean Solo. Are you in need of a professional DJ with over 20 years experience? Look no further than DJ Sean Solo Entertainment. I can help make your special event exciting and memorable for you and your guests. For information and booking, please contact DJ Sean Solo 72 on Facebook or Instagram. And as always, may the beats be with you. All right, we are back here on the Riverhawk SportsNest podcast. We are now joined by the third member of the Sports Nest, Orry the Voice Phillips. He wanted to get on the phone and talk to the president and the AD, so I'll switch it over to the Voice. Go for it.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Obviously, great to be talking to you both. I was talking off air. You guys kind of took one of my talking points with NSU football, but I'll certainly second that they've been a lot of fun to watch this year. The caliber of athlete has been so much different, and Cam Woods has been a human highlight reel. I know, again, you guys brought him up, Ramon McKinney, Levante Chenal. I mean, it's just a who's who of who's making plays for us. Very excited about that and very excited about what the last few weeks of the season really holds for them. Definitely want to talk about the upcoming basketball season because that's going to be here right around the corner. You know, we got homecoming, we got a couple weeks after that, and then it's hoops at the NSU Events Center. We have one of the best environments. I think we have the best environment across Oklahoma Division II basketball, best attendance on both the men's and women's side, top 20 for the men, top 15 nationally for the women. I want to go to you, President Hanley, talking about basketball, the Nest. What excites you about the upcoming campaign?
I love basketball. It's just, you know, the way I think about this, about sports, is that, you know, there's certain seasons and you have certain sports that you love. And so when spring rolls around, I'm a baseball guy.
Yep.
When the fall rolls around, I become a football guy. And when winter's approaching, I become a basketball guy. And so you got your teams that you follow. You follow certain players. And I do the same thing. And so one of the things that I really love about, it doesn't matter what sport it is at NSU, I love watching the play and getting to know, at least from as a spectator, the players that are on the court or on the field or whatever. You get to kind of know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what their personality is, all that kind of stuff, and then you start to get into it, right? Yes. And you just love it, and that's I'm looking forward to it all the way.
So, and the cool thing is the guys are going to be at home a lot this year. So last season, it's a trade-off because last year we had a lot of non-conference road games. How does it go usually? Home and home. The return game comes back here. So we got 17 home games for the men this season. The women, unfortunately, 6 of their 9 non-conference dates are on the road. They do the invitational circuit. But looking forward to that without a doubt. And a lot of highlights when we were at home last year. Among them beating number 1 Washburn. And Washburn picked again to win the MIAA on the men's side. They'll probably be top 3 to 5 on the women's side. I think they'll be very good this year. So excited to see what Coach Ferg, Coach Havens can do with those big tests that we'll see here in the Quad. One more question for you. You mentioned that basketball season coming up, so you're going to become a basketball fan. But with the arrival of some sports means the departure of some others. Going in all day, I've been telling William, I'd ask you, talking about Chicago Cubs.
Oh,
season
man.
just came to an end.
Okay.
I didn't know you were going to touch on this.
You had to go there.
I had to.
So I'm watching.
He was in such a good mood, too.
Yes, I was in.
We asked
such a
the
good
hard-hitting
mood.
questions, by the way.
Oh, that's right, yes.
All right, so you triggered me. So here it goes. So I'm watching this thing, and I'm going to be honest with you. I do not like the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't like them. I don't like their players. I don't like their ownership. I don't like their fans.
Two of their pitchers.
Yeah, I know. I know all that. But man, I just don't like them, right? And so my beloved Chicago Cubs played the Milwaukee Brewers, lost in the division series. And I can pinpoint the moment the heart got sucked out of my chest, and it was the Cubs got a couple of runners, a runner on first and second, and we had nobody out in the 6th inning of the game 5.
Yep.
And Kyle Tucker came up and had what I think was the worst at bat of any Cub all year long.
True story.
Wow.
And he just sort of waved the bat, and next thing you know, he strikes out. And then Seiya Suzuki came up, had a long fly out. That's 2 outs. And then Ian Happ came up and kind of just struck out again. And there just goes your season, right? And you knew it happened. It was sort of like that proverbial hand just sucked into grabbed into your chest, grabbed your heart, and sucked it out.
Kalima.
Yeah,
Kalima.
there you go. And it was awful. But you know what? I'm moving on. I'm the Seattle Mariners. I used to live in Washington State.
Yeah.
And for a short time, and I love the Mariners. I'm rooting for the Mariners, man. I hope they knock off the Blue Jays, and then when they go against the evil empire, Los Angeles Dodgers, I hope they knock them out of the World Series.
I don't think the Dodgers are there yet. We still have the Brewers to contend with, so I'm just letting you know. Game tomorrow night.
Very true. Well, definitely appreciate the insight. So talking Cubs, how overall would you grade that season? What do they need to do to get better next year?
Yeah, good question. So all right, so they're going to need. It's interesting. I think they've got a lot of young talent in their system. They've one of the best farm. When they had the sell-off of the major stars from the 2016 World Series, they got a number of really good prospects in the system, and so I think that's coming about. They need a bat in the lineup. So I don't know if Kyle Tucker is the answer, or if do they go a different direction. I don't know. It's funny. It's whether it's in football or baseball or whatever sport. Whenever that team makes that decision to go young and kind of like bring up their prospects and really give them a chance, I know I get like really nervous because you're like, I don't know their names. I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? But I love it. I love it when one of those stars all of a sudden just blossoms in front of your eyes. I just love it. So I think with Pete Crow Armstrong with the Cubs and playing center field, oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't know he had that level of elite talent, and it's only going to get better from here.
Right.
So I think the sky's the limit with the Cubs. I'd love to see him add a big bat, kind of a veteran bat. But I hope they don't sell the farm in trying to bring in some free agents. And knowing the Cubs ownership, I don't think that's what they're going to do. So.
All right.
Well, certainly great to be here on the podcast. Again, first time I've actually been on here in a while. Been very busy, obviously, with getting ready for the football games and all that. We're on the road this week, so I had a little bit of time to come by, but definitely we'll invite the captain back on to take my chair. But great again to talk to you guys, and looking forward to, obviously, rest of football season and soccer seasons. All three of those teams doing very well so far, men's and women's soccer as well as football. We talked about tennis, right? Tennis is doing really well. The men very excited about what they're going to do later on throughout their return campaign, and then basketball, baseball, softball, all be here before you know it.
Exciting times for NSU athletics. Orry, we appreciate your time as always, sir. Thank you. Well, guys, we have been here quite a bit, and we always greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah.
So we'll give you. We've got Captain back with us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for your time. I know we've gone a little long tonight, but so much information. Exactly, that we got to get out. So we could be on for a while. So, I
just wanted to give the floor to you guys before we end this last segment. Is there anything you want to touch on or tell the Riverhawk Nation, or anything that you guys want to?
Well, you guys said it. Exciting times, great leadership. And we kid each other a lot, me and Dr. Hanley, and we poke at each other in athletics and different teams. But at the end of the day, when you wake up and you go to work and you know that you're working with people that are in the same grind that you are and that have the same attitude and the work ethic, and you know that it's for the right causes, it makes you feel good. And so everybody in NSU from the past, from 100 years ago to the next 100 years, shall feel good about what's happening right now at NSU and be excited about it. And a lot of it starts from this man here to my left. So we appreciate him. We appreciate you guys, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season. And hey, Kansas City this weekend, let's get another W.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let me jump in. So, look, it's always fun to come down and talk to you guys. I really always enjoy it. And, I follow you guys on Facebook. I listen to the podcast. Look, man, I love sports, right? As being a university president, I'm a super fan. Let me just tell you right now, I'm a super fan, right? I get all excited. I'm when the ref throws a flag that I don't think is justified and it stops a drive that we've got going on in football. Oh, I get pissed off. Right. Let me just tell you right now.
As you should.
And it's just the way it is. And I'm yelling out there at the ref and everything else. But there's so, like John said, there's so many good things happening with NSU athletics right now. We're on the upswing, and I just love it. I love the way the one season transitions to the next season. I just love it all. And when you have a job you love, and you love coming to work, and you love the people you work with, it's just worth its weight in gold. And that's what I've got. And so it's a real blessing to be the president of Northeastern State University. And I love coming on your podcast. And let's go Riverhawks.
Let's go Riverhawks. Well said. Well, gentlemen, thank you again for being on the show. Fantastic episode, a special edition here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't express the gratitude to both of you, Director Sisemore and President Hanley. It's the time that you've been able to spend tonight and the information that you've shared. It's just a wealth of information from both of you throughout the university of how we're moving forward and with the athletic department. So I did have another question for you, but you got this meme here. You're showing up here. You've got. I don't know what are you looking at here?
Well,
where did that come from?
So I've been getting into Chat GPT, and AI and all that kind of stuff. And so what I like to do is, and I drive my colleagues crazy with this, is that I'll take in a weird moment, I'll take a picture of something. Maybe somebody does something kind of silly and kind of embarrasses themselves, and And what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it and I'll make a Mad Magazine cover of that picture using ChatGPT. And so someone sent me a picture of me sitting here talking to you guys, and so I made a Mad Magazine cover of that tonight.
Oh,
So.
Coach, you have to send that to us. You have to send that to us.
That is perfect. That's why we had to share that right there. That's
Yes.
good stuff right there.
All right. Well, on that note, we will end this episode here on the Riverhawk SportsNest podcast. I'm Sean Solo.
And I'm Captain Morgan.
We are out. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.